Welcome back, fellow shop rats. Today, we're doing a bunch of miscellaneous little things that I think you guys will be interested. First thing is, well, something is kind of multiplied. I guess I shouldn't have left it out here by itself. Let's see what's going on.
This is My Cars Shop.
In a recent episode, we had done a discovery session on an intake that I picked up and discovered that does fit a 383-400. And that we were going to be able to use that over there on the 413 426 that I'm going to be putting in the golden mullet. However, we were going to get 1-inch spacers or probably make them ourselves, but as is often the case throughout the week, I was texting with my good buddy Just Mopar Joe and mentioned that I had this intake, and he's like, hey, I need that, and I have one for an RB. How about we just swap? So lo and behold, I got a package earlier this week, and there was an RB intake, which is exactly the same intake that my top is going to fit right on. And we will now have a direct fit intake for the 413 426 that we're going to be putting in that 67 Plymouth Belvedere post car. Of course, he was just using whatever shipping material that he happened to have, and he sent me some masking paper with the purple off of when he painted his Plymouth Cuda race car. And so that's pretty cool to me as a painter, and I know that he knows I'd get a kick out of having some of that, even though it's just trash. It's still, cool to have watched him paint that and then have some of that paper. But the most fun thing to me was the swag. I opened up that box, and in the box was the intake wrapped in a sweatshirt. And of course, I couldn't tell what it was, but as I unwrapped it, it was a Bad Treat Productions Just Mopar Joe sweatshirt, which fits like a glove. That was just something he had kicking around the shop, and he thought I'd get a kick out of it. And yeah, I am getting a big kick out of it. As a matter of fact, I'm wearing it today. Now, with the new heat system in here, it's a little bit warm, so I don't know if I'll wear it all day, but it's a nice sweatshirt, and it fits me good. The sleeves aren't too short, and it's pre-adjusted so that it's not tight around the neck, and it's cool. One of the jobs then I need to do today is get this packaged up in the same box and get that shipped back out to him. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there's some goodies in a bag that's going in there for him. So he'll have some surprises maybe, or some mystery, or I don't know, there's some goodies is what I'm trying to say that'll go back in there. And I got a bunch of bubble wrap and other stuff because I'm not giving up my sweatshirt. One thing I wish I had available that I did when I did the one for my GTS, because it was in about the same shape as this, was I had an ultrasonic cleaner to put it in and clean it. So, what I got from Joe is in pretty good shape. Was obviously used. The one that I got that Joe was getting had been sitting around. I cleaned up the base quite a bit. So I'm going to think about what I can spray on this to just give it a good, a soaking, and try to get some of it cleaned up and not spend a ton of time on it. But obviously that's not exactly conducive to what we want. We got time on this, of course, but I'd at least like to give it an initial blush and get this top part cleaned up as good as the bottom part. So let me think about that a little bit. One product that I don't use much around the shop, even though I use a ton of Super Clean, is the Super Clean Wheel Cleaner. It's not something that I use a lot of right now. I'm sure in the future I will, but we're going to give this a shot on the intake and see what it does. So let's give her a squirt. Okay, apparently it's not open. Oh, it's open. There we go. Had this a long time. Let me see if I can get a different sprayer in it. All right, we're going to let that soak, and then we'll get out a brush and give her a scrub-a-dub and rinse it off and see what we got. Oop, I missed a spot right in there. Again, I don't know how acidic this stuff is, but it's worth a shot. While I'm at it, I might as well go ahead and hit this and give it just a little bit of a scrub-a-dub too. It's in a lot better shape. That's just, from use, but, it can hurt anything to try to clean it up. Interesting to see how that dirt is just rinsing off, isn't it? So we'll just keep spraying this down and see what we end up with here in a little bit. Of course, we'll get a brush and scrub it. Look at that stuff. Isn't that incredible? This is why I love this product. Unbelievable. Okay, let me get a brush and scrub it up a dub. Don't tell Becky I'm using her toothbrush.
She'll never know.
Let's see how this is doing. I use the wheel cleaner on this because it's more acidic than the regular cleaner, but because there's a lot of corrosion on here and stuff. But we may, go over it with this and then hit it with the regular super clean after. Still cleaning up nicely though. Yeah, I think it's going to take the degreaser to get some of this off of here, but so we'll scrub this down to get the corrosion off. And then we'll hit it again. Woohoo! We'll dry it, and then we'll hit it again with the regular super clean. You got to remember that these products are, they're gluten-free and everything, so they're very healthy. Oh, don't drink them, obviously, but... Okay, let's take these out, rinse them off, and see what we got. Definitely going to need to do some regular super clean on this, I think. Just a lot of grease in this thing, but my main thing was like getting down in here and cleaning out some of that corrosion and stuff. And we'll do a better job on this when we get closer to using it. But I wanted to get it cleaned up a little bit, see what it looks like. Well, that accomplished what I hoped it would. It took off the corrosion. Now we need to get the dirt, grease, and grime off. So we'll take it back, overshoot it with regular super clean. We may have to go over it with a wire wheel too, but it's a step forward. I'm definitely pleased with that. The only way we're going to get this top to match this base is ultimately sandblast the whole thing. So we'll do that another day. But I wanted to get this cleaned up some, see what things look like. It looks pretty good, and it's a good little project. It's one of those things that, for one thing, it's an evaluation. I'm nowhere near putting together the engine for the Golden Mullet.
Or am I?
Let's face it, it's just a cool part to have kicking around the shop. So we'll find a unique place to display it, and I do need to go upstairs and find a couple more Holley carbs. I need to dig out my transverse linkage setup that I have for this as well. Had it forever. I was going to put it on the GTS, but I like the way that the GTS works with the carburetors set this way. These I'm going to put on this way. So that'll be a fun little project to get that all set up. I just need to go dig through my warehouse and find my box of Holley carburetors and dig out a couple that will be rebuildable and get those down here to put on here. So it's a good step in the right direction. Well, I just had to, because it's what all the cool kids are doing. And you got to keep up with the cool kids, right? Did you think I forgot?
Rah!